A lot of Walmart Spark drivers have found it more difficult to make money in 2023. A lot of us are seeing lower paying orders, higher mileage offers, reduced base pay, as well as a lack of orders in general. So, in this video, I'm going to go over 5 things that have recently helped me make more money with Walmart Spark, like just over the last 2 weeks, as a matter of fact. Now, not everything will apply to everyone, but everybody should find at least one thing that will apply to their situation. Stay tuned to the end of the video for some bonus information that drivers in a very specific situation should be sure to consider. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And without further ado, let's talk about the first thing that recently helped me make more money with Walmart Spark, which is trying new stores. A situation that Walmart Spark drivers often face is starting off the day, getting orders at a specific store, it's relatively busy, then all of a sudden things just fall off of a cliff and the orders seem to die out at their main store. I wanted to find a way where I could get more orders, keep more busy, earn more money in less time, and keep making money with Spark instead of going to my backup food delivery apps at these times. Now, I did some research and recently discovered a couple different ways to find out what stores are busy currently, as well as what stores would be busy in the near future. So now, after my main store dies off at a certain part of the day, I now have another store about 5 miles away that I can go to continue getting orders and continue making money. Now, in my experience, I actually get better orders when I drive towards that store and I'm taking offers from within that store's parking lot versus from the store that I was originally at my main store, trying to fill first come, first serve offers from that store from miles away. Since I started doing this, it's helped me reach my daily goal much faster, basically in exchange for driving an extra 5 miles to another store. Now, this next part is a similar yet separate tip, but also actually checking out Sam's Clubs. Now, I got this order right here just the other day because I happened to be near a Sam's Club during their round robin drop time. There was Chipotle near their parking lot that I happened to be in, and I had the Spark app on and I saw this order, so I took it. Now, the one thing that you'll want to notice is that their pickup time is on the hour, not how like with Spark it is at 45 after the hour. But let me know in the comments below if you want to see me do like a full shift of Spark Sam's Club orders, trying to get their round robin drops and see if they're all like this, or if I consistently can get these higher paying orders like this and add these batch of orders to the repertoire. Now, I gotta admit that I wouldn't have been near Sam's Club in the first place if I wasn't in the middle of using tip number 2, which is to try new zones. Now, I personally live on the border of 2 different Spark zones, and the one that I had been avoiding doing Spark in, they have a boatload of apartments, and I didn't really want to have to deal with second floor and third floor apartment deliveries. Even when the price is right, I still avoid those type of deliveries in those zones. But after I recently used a tip that I mentioned in this video here about getting more orders, and I found out that there was a store in another zone that was super busy, and went out and tested that store out, and I found out that although that store has less shop and deliver orders, they actually have much better tippers, especially on their curbside pickup orders. Additionally, this zone had more stores than the zone that I usually shop in, so when I took a longer distance order, I would end up near another store, another Walmart, another Sam's Club, which is how I got that Sam's Club order that I showed you earlier. In this zone, the stores were generally more busy during each round robin, and this also allowed me to increase the benefits that I talked about in tip number 1. Additionally, with how much more busier this zone was, I was able to cherry pick past those second floor and third floor apartment orders and still get good paying offers. And somehow, this wasn't even the most surprising part. Did you know that Walmart Spark now allows you to earn incentives across multiple zones? Now, when I started Walmart Spark last year, anytime there was an incentive, it was specific to a certain zone. A lot of times it was even specific to a certain store. Now, for the last couple of weeks, I've been able to complete more incentives, complete them faster, use multiple stores across multiple zones, and ultimately make more money. This has turned incentives essentially from how many orders can I get at this specific store to how can I just stay busy at all the stores that I know about. Now, I must admit that I wouldn't have been able to achieve these results without implementing tip number 3, which is mapping out and scheduling when the stores that I shop at are most busy. Now, between the 2 most recent videos that I made about getting more orders, I provided many tips that most people can use to figure out when the stores that they shop at are least busy and most busy, and essentially more likely to have orders for them. And by the way, just a disclaimer, finding out when the store is more busy just means that it has more orders, It doesn't mean that you'll get any of those orders. It doesn't mean those orders will have tips or that those orders will be low mileage. So just FYI. But me personally, I basically always have a store to spark at and consistently get orders from. Now, through trial and error, tracking and confirmation, I now have the following routine that allows me to maximize the orders I get and make more money on Walmart Spark. So I'm an early riser and I start my Walmart Spark day at 7 a.m. Starting at 7 a.m., my main store is busy enough that I can get multiple shop and deliver orders per hour. I can consistently get 2 shop and deliver orders complete within the first hour, sometimes also within the second hour of the day as well. So for the first hour of the day, it allows me to consistently earn a good 40 to 50 bucks. And if the first 2 hours are good, sometimes $70 or $80 just within the first 2 hours of the day. Now, they're not always all shop and deliver. Sometimes a curbside pickup gets thrown into the mix, but they're consistently 50 to 75% shop and deliver during that time. Now, when that dies off, I drive another 5 miles away to another store that I know is busy, that has some ASAP orders, typically curbside pickups, that I'll pick up one immediately, and then I'll typically get another one offered during the following round robin, allowing me to earn another 40 bucks, and a lot of times about $100 before 11 a.m. Now, when the orders at that second store die down, I typically go home for a nice little brunch somewhere around 10:30 to 11 a.m. After I eat my brunch, I switch zones and then go to another store that's about 5 miles in the opposite direction for their next round robin drop, usually around 12 in the afternoon. Now, at this time, this store is typically busier with curbside pickup drops. There's usually some pretty good tippers on there. And although there's sometimes that they're higher mileage, it's always at least $3 per mile when I'm cherry picking for those orders. This store typically has orders within the $25 to $30 range. And I'm consistently cherry picking at this store, avoiding those second and third floor apartments, and occasionally getting some express shop and deliver orders, which also allow me to raise my hourly rate as well. This combination of always shopping at the busiest stores allows me to reach my daily goal consistently by about 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon and have the rest of my day free for me. Now, if I'm chasing an incentive and I want to go till sundown to get as many orders as I can complete, then around 3 p.m. I go home, feed my dogs, take care of them for a little bit, then go back to my main store for like the after work rush around 4 or 5 p.m. and consistently get some more curbside pickup and shop and deliver orders there, which typically allow me to get enough orders done to hit the incentives. Using this technique the other day, I was able to complete 12 orders in about 9 hours. I was able to earn over $200 before the incentive even kicked in, and including the incentive pay, it was closer to $300 in those 9 hours. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took me about 2 weeks to master this pattern. And like I said, there was some trial and error. And also it's added about 15 miles to my daily driving. Nonetheless, if you're more about miles per hour than dollars per mile, then I definitely recommend this technique to you. Now, before I get to tip number 4, if you're getting value from this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. And be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video for that additional information that's recently helped me make more money with Spark. Now, on to tip number 4, which is removing your car profile in the Walmart Spark app. Now, I've talked about this tip multiple times recently, so I'm not going to really get into it, but I stand on it. I mean, of course, the order's got to be there. And if you're trying to raise your acceptance rate, you may get an order that's too big for your car, and you may have to decline it if you got like a sedan profile on there. But if you're a cherry picker, I recommend removing that car profile because it's essentially a limiter on the volume of orders that you're going to receive. As there may be some orders that you're not getting offered that you think is fit in your car, but Spark doesn't think it fit in your car. And finally, the 5th thing that's helped me make more money with Walmart Spark recently is getting more incentives. Now, I admit this is out of your control, but this has been huge for me recently. In addition to the Memorial Day incentive I recently got 2 overlapping incentives as well, where the orders counted for both incentives, and even though I didn't complete the big one, I did complete the small one. Now, I know these incentives won't be around forever, so I'm definitely taking advantage of them as much as I can using the techniques I've been mentioning in this video. And as I mentioned earlier, now that Walmart Spark allows you to earn incentives across multiple zones and using multiple stores, as I got credit towards completing incentive when I did that Sam's Club order that I mentioned earlier, as long as both of these changes are on most incentives, this will definitely benefit drivers more going forward. And now, for everybody that's made it this far through the video, first off, I thank you. And number two, the bonus tip, if you're considering a new car, consider a hybrid and listen to how it changed how much I've earned on a weekly basis. I recently got into a 2019 Prius coming from a 2005 Nissan Altima that got like 22 miles per gallon on a good day with a 20-gallon tank, to this Prius that now gets like 45 miles per gallon on a bad day, but typically averages over 50 miles per gallon. Now, in my zone, gas prices are near $5 a gallon, so I was spending almost $80 a week to fill that Altima, whereas now I'm spending less than $40 on the Prius. Now, I'm still filling up weekly because the Prius does have a smaller gas tank, but I am spending less than $40 a week compared to over $80 like I was before, saving myself over $150 per month on fuel expenses. And of course, like with anything, there's going to be pros and cons, so make sure you do your own research and choose what's right for you in your situation. But if you want to know how to always be at the right store for you, the store with the most orders for you, and if you prefer shop and deliver orders, the store that has the most shop and deliver orders for you, then you find out how to do it by watching this video now.